So Splunk is going to get acquired by Cisco for $28 billion. Figma did it for $20 billion. Slack did it for almost $28 billion from Salesforce. Now it's Splunk. So let's take a look at their pitch deck and what they're trying to send out as a message when they're working out in cybersecurity and so on. Let's get to it. All right, so this pitch deck exists on their website, on their official website. Also, you have to know that they're a public company. So most of their financials are already out there and they're all very transparent per se in this matter. It's not a case of acquisition of a private company. So the presentation, it's well designed, but you would expect that from a company making around $834 million of revenue a year. Or last year at least. They start with a forward-looking statement, non-GAAP financial measures as usual, disclaimers. All these big companies always start with such slides. And then that's my favorite slide, or it would just summarize why you're getting acquired for this big amount. It's the highlights. So 3.858 billion in total annual recurring revenue, which is 16% increase year on year, which is very good. That means you are making a lot of recurring revenue. It kind of makes sense that a company would be purchased for 10 times the total annual revenue, but I mean, they weren't purchased for $38 billion, they were purchased for 28, but it's kind of close. Now you see it, you know? And before you start saying, oh yeah, but in those 3.858 billion, maybe they're making money out of non-scalable options, then they immediately say that their cloud annual recurring revenue is 1.9, almost half this amount, showing that they have potential of growing in the future. Total revenue in the second quarter, and the cash flow is increasing 12 months, or the cash flow is in positive at the moment. The most important number that I think is golden is the last one. Customers with annual recurring revenue of over $1 million, as in like Fortune 100 companies or big companies. And for that, there are 834, which is 111 increase. What they're trying to say here is that, you know what, we have clients that are not going to give us up that easily, that need our product very well, and that are sustained for the future. Similar to Salesforce. Salesforce also has big high-end clients. So that's what they're trying to say here. And then they start showing those people immediately, because this is one of the most important variables. They're selling this. More than 90 of the Fortune 500 of the Fortune 100 companies have used Splunk's offering, and this is just the increase in the cloud and the increase in the total annual of those customers. And then they start to explain Splunk. Splunk, look, there's a lot of, I could explain Splunk in an hour, but what it really does is it's cybersecurity. It has a lot of layers and it has a lot of products under cybersecurity, and they purchased a lot of companies as well, which they're going to show in the future. It's like, you would also say that Google acquired a lot of companies, Facebook acquired a lot of companies, Splunk also acquired a lot of companies in this sector. So it's like the Facebook of cybersecurity per se. I mean, it's a bit of an exaggeration, but you can say that this is what it is. It's the Slack of instant messaging. Yeah, that makes, or workspaces, that makes more sense. So it delivers unified security and observability solutions to build digital resilience. And then these are the layers that are here that are powered by Splunk AI. And then they start talking about that they're the only vendor recognized as a leader in the latest Magic Quadrant reports for both APM and observability, so on. So they're just showcasing what they do in general. Now they're going to really show in the upcoming slides what they are focused on. So they are showing, these are all companies they acquired, and they're showing where are they like, think of a big puzzle, and the pieces of the puzzle are companies that Splunk acquired smartly. So they show the companies that they acquired here, and from then you could just see that all these companies are part of the big puzzle that is Splunk's market and Splunk's functionality. And then they talk about Splunk AI. They have a couple of products as well. It's just Splunk AI and Splunk Edge Hub, and they talk about it in the pitch deck, showing that, you know what, we're also investing in artificial intelligence, and it really works very well, and our customers rely on it. And Splunk Edge Hub as well, bridging the gap between IT and OT. That's all that they say about their products. And then they jump into the growth opportunity, just putting a total addressable market here of $100 billion, security, observability, and use cases. And that's it for the product. I like this pitch deck because it's brief and to the point. And that's it for the product, and that's it for the growth opportunity. Now, they gave this section to their CFO. So the CFO is going to start speaking. And then they start talking about the numbers. This is what they really invest in big companies at that stage. So total annual recurring revenue, operating margins, and like they're just putting in some of their financials here. And they're saying we're increasing in annual recurring revenue and decreasing in operating expenses. Not a bad idea. And then they show that we're also growing in terms of cloud, and its percentage of our operations are increasing. As you can see, 59% compound annual growth rate and 18% there, and that's from non-cloud versus cloud. If you look at it in Q2 of 2020, it was a lot smaller than that, the cloud's operations. Significant free cash flow, so that was their cash flow in 2021. So they're increasing in cash flow. Another financial outlook just showing the full year of 2024. Profitability. This is what CFOs or due diligence people would really dig into. Investors in general as well. Those who are savvy with numbers would really dig into these numbers and see that, okay, you're growing as much as possible. And increasing the Rule of 40 metric, just showing their total annual growth and their margins, all looking good. Again, this is just probably from the CFO or probably from the financial aspect of the company to show that, you know what, we're all about the numbers and we're really strong in that matter. And then the supplemental information, which is what I call the appendix in general. It's not that big of a deal, or it's not that important information unless you really want to dig into it. Bookings, mix, and contract durations, how long the durations are, and they're increasing in terms of cloud, as you can see. Bookings momentum, the momentum is good, is looking good. Like with an average, it's not really crazy. And the growth of cloud in annual recurring revenue in millions. A little bit more charts. I would call this really a chart deck, not a pitch deck, from the amount of charts you see. And they ended up with their financials or some of their operating expenses and showing the numbers. Again, these numbers are actually publicly available, but they put it in the investor presentation for people interested in purchasing the Splunk stock, which returned a good amount over its lifetime. And that's how they end the Splunk deck. The deck is good, well designed, just talks numbers, not long, it's 25 slides. So that's why I kind of like this deck. And I understand why they would be like, they have a specific vision that they're all about the numbers, and our numbers are extremely solid. The most similar company to them, in my opinion, but it's in a different sector, is Salesforce. They just go on enterprise B2B model and just sell to businesses and acquire and stay with them for a very long time, smartly acquiring other companies in the same sector. So that's why I like Splunk in general, and that was the pitch deck of them. Thank you for watching this video. Like and subscribe it if you did like it, and have a wonderful day.